I don't gotta keep doing all the while.
He's pacing at his own pace. It ain't a fast pace.
Boxing, he's definitely talented. You know what I mean? And he's definitely got that it. And yeah, he's definitely respected in boxing. But Shakur is a different fighter.
Terrence Crawford joins Shakur Stevenson's training camp and gives him direct, tactical advice. He shows Shakur how to use smart angles, stay calm on defense, and throw exact counters to outthink Teofimo Lopez and take charge of every round with confidence. Shakur Stevenson goes through heavy training sessions, sharpening his speed, timing, and defense for the upcoming fight with Teofimo Lopez. Terrence Crawford watches closely, paying attention to every detail and thinking about smarter strategies as the camp progresses. Shakur's coach explains that Shakur fears no one. He steps into the ring with anyone willing to fight and accepts every challenge without hesitation, proving he's ready for all opponents. Terrence is seen inside Shakur's camp offering guidance like an older brother. He shares his fight experience, talks strategy, and motivates Shakur with calm, confident leadership. Terrence Crawford praises Shakur Stevenson, saying Shakur has exceptional skills and sharp boxing intelligence. Crawford mentions that some people call Shakur boring, but very few understand the level of talent, strategy, and control he brings into every fight. Inside Shakur Stevenson's camp, Terrence Crawford teaches different techniques and explains the importance of picking up new tricks from every fighter you face, showing how valuable learning variety can be in boxing. Sean Porter talks about the upcoming Shakur Stevenson versus Teofimo Lopez fight and says it's a matchup that Shakur has the ability to control. Porter describes it as a fight that is Shakur's to lose, meaning that if Stevenson performs at his best, he can set the pace and control the outcome. Porter also mentions that boxing is unpredictable, but Stevenson's skills and preparation give him a clear edge. He's hopeful the fight will be entertaining and good for the sport, especially as a strong start to the year. Porter reflects on the previous year in boxing, saying it felt incomplete and lacked closure on key events. He hopes this fight brings clarity and momentum. Overall, Porter shows respect for both fighters, but emphasizes that Stevenson must execute his game plan in this important matchup. Tim Bradley explains that the most direct punch is not always the fastest or best choice in boxing. When facing a fighter who stays centered and controls distance well, a straight punch may look quick, but it isn't always the smartest weapon. Bradley says many fighters wrongly assume the shortest route is automatically the most effective. He talks about the hook as a better tactical option in some situations because it shows up briefly, disappears from sight, and then lands before the opponent reacts. Bradley highlights the left hook as a dangerous shot Shakur Stevenson must watch out for, explaining how hooks can catch fighters off guard by using timing and angles, not just speed. Regis Prograis points out that Shakur Stevenson has a stronger mental approach and better technical skills than Teofimo Lopez. He says Lopez is very athletic and talented, but sometimes struggles with focus, consistency, and keeping the right mindset during high-pressure moments. Prograis explains that Stevenson's calm attitude, strategy, and precision give him a major advantage, especially because he can read his opponent and adjust during the fight. He says Lopez's natural ability alone won't be enough against Stevenson, whose discipline and ring intelligence make him more reliable in this matchup. Prograis believes mental toughness can outweigh physical gifts, and that Stevenson has the clearer plan, better awareness, and stronger consistency, which is why he sees the mental and technical side leaning toward Stevenson. Malik Scott analyzes a possible fight between Teofimo Lopez and Shakur Stevenson, breaking down how both fighters' strengths could impact the match. Scott notes that Lopez has speed and athletic ability, which makes him explosive and unpredictable at times. However, Scott points out that speed and athleticism alone are not enough against someone as technically sharp as Stevenson. He describes Stevenson as a fighter who reads opponents, controls the pace, and takes advantage of openings. Scott says that timing, fight IQ, and decision-making matter more than pure athleticism. He suggests that for Lopez to win, he needs more than raw physical gifts because Stevenson's methodical style and smart execution give him a noticeable edge. Teddy Atlas steps in to defend both Shakur Stevenson and Teofimo Lopez from the criticisms they have received throughout their careers. Atlas says that public opinion often fails to recognize how much skill, dedication, and sacrifice each fighter puts into the sport. He explains that both fighters have been misunderstood or judged unfairly at times, and stresses the importance of acknowledging their discipline, talent, and achievements. Atlas highlights Stevenson's strategic intelligence and calmness, along with Lopez's natural athletic ability and fighting instincts, showing that both bring value to boxing. He notes that fans and critics often ignore the complex mental preparation and split-second decisions fighters must make in the ring, and encourages people to appreciate their full journeys instead of focusing only on single performances. Jermaine Ortiz gives his view on the fight between Shakur Stevenson and Teofimo Lopez, talking about how much Shakur has improved. Ortiz says Stevenson has learned from past fights and won't repeat old mistakes. In earlier bouts, Shakur sometimes pushed forward aggressively without fully controlling distance, which gave opponents chances to respond. Ortiz believes this time Shakur will manage range, timing, and positioning more carefully to stay effective while reducing risk. Ortiz adds that Stevenson's ability to read opponents and adjust during the fight has grown a lot, making him smarter and harder to deal with. He explains that this progress comes from Shakur studying opponents, refining his skills, and learning from both wins and setbacks. Ortiz says this maturity helps Stevenson stay calm under pressure, land clean counters, and avoid unnecessary exchanges. If he sticks to these principles, Ortiz feels Shakur will have a clear advantage over Lopez. That's all for today's video. Stay tuned for more boxing updates and insights.